Whenever I'm working on an HID Remapper configuration, there is always a non-zero chance that I will mess something up and make my mouse or keyboard completely inoperational. Which is always awkward because then I have to unplug my mouse from the HID Remapper and plug it directly into my computer to try and fix the mistake, and then I have to plug it into the HID Remapper again to see if my fix works. Or I could try to navigate the configuration interface with just my keyboard, which is possible but not very convenient. It would be nice to be able to go back to a known good configuration, for example by pressing a button. We can do that with layers. As long as the configuration that we're working on doesn't use all the layers available, we can use one of the remaining layers as a known good configuration that we can switch to when we mess things up. Let's create a configuration that's broken on purpose. I will map cursor X to nothing and cursor Y to nothing. If I save this to my HID Remapper, then I'm left with a non-functional mouse. But if I add another mapping that activates, for example, layer 3, let's say I will activate it with the right mouse button. Then, as long as I have unmapped inputs passed through enabled on layer 3, I can always bail out of my broken configuration by pressing the right mouse button. I should also enable the sticky flag so that the layer stays active and I don't have to hold the right mouse button. So this is nice, but it's not yet the trick I wanted to show you today. What if my configuration uses all the buttons my mouse has and I don't have any buttons that I could use to go back to the known good configuration? The trick is we're going to use Caps Lock, specifically the Caps Lock LED, instead of a button, to activate the layer. If you've seen one of my previous videos about visualizing layer state with the keyboard LEDs, you know that mappings can have the Caps Lock LED set as their outputs. But the Caps Lock LED can also be set as the input on a mapping. And the best part is, this works even if your keyboard is not plugged into the HID Remapper. Even when your keyboard is plugged into your computer directly, HID Remapper still knows the state of the keyboard LEDs, and that state can be used to activate a layer. Let's see what it looks like in practice. I will save this configuration to my HID Remapper. And now, my mouse, which is plugged into the HID Remapper, has stopped working because of these first two mappings that map the cursor movement to nothing. But because I have this third mapping that activates layer 3 when the Caps Lock LED is on, I can now recover from this without having to unplug my mouse. I will just press Caps Lock, and remember that my keyboard isn't even plugged into the HID Remapper, it's plugged directly into my computer. The Caps Lock LED is now on, which means that layer 3 should be active and my mouse should be working again. And it is. I can now fix my configuration. Okay, hopefully this little trick is useful to you. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.